Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of a double feature, where we have gone to the foreign films, and we are looking at the French romantic comedy, Amelie. Now, this film has won a whole bunch of awards. It's highly regarded as just a nice, quirky rom-com. So I don't know what that says about us that we're now reviewing a French romantic comedy, but we are. Thane, question. You ultimately said that having Amelie hooking up with Nino didn't make much sense.
Yes.
The question that I have for you is, how much sense does true love have to make?
Oh. Got me right. Oh. All right. Touche. I mean, you're right. True love doesn't have to make a lot of sense. And to be honest, you're right. This is a weird film. It's a film full of weirdos. And I think that's how I described them in my review. They're all weirdos. It's just...
You said weirdos, I said quirky.
Okay, quirky. Yeah, that's right. You said quirky. Yours is probably more politically correct. That was just the one part I struggled with was, okay, I mean, she's helping all these people, she's doing all these acts of kindness, and that's really awesome, but what makes this weirdo, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, but again, I was reading into this, this phrase, like I said, that there's someone for everybody, there's, right, that was the phrase I said, or? Yeah, there's someone out there for everybody. And so I thought it was sort of a nice commentary on that, but then we never got any justification or reasoning as to why this person was better than the slew of other weirdos that were in this movie that she helps. And so maybe I'm being too critical, because you're right, love doesn't make, oftentimes, and to be honest, Meet Joe Black. You seen that movie?
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie because of the one line Anthony Hopkins says about love. He says, love, lightning could strike. And so I do believe that. Sometimes love just happens and it has no logic, no rhyme, no reason. But I don't know. I guess in this instance, I was hoping for a little reasoning because it seemed that they were emphasizing that, hey, there's someone for everybody. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that was just my thought.
Well, yeah, the stars didn't align because we know she's had other relationships. But those relationships, it became very obvious that she was just going through the motions, literally, with those relationships. And there was never a spark there. But once she ran into this guy, I mean, those sparks started to happen well before she actually ever met him.
Right.
And maybe that's just the way that love and life works. It just catches us by surprise every once in a while. And we just have to have the courage to act on that surprise.
No, I agree. And to be honest, I was also one of the things I did enjoy about the movie was I felt like this was also maybe a commentary on the different types of love that exist in life. Because this is kind of one of my first questions was, I mean, we in your review you talk about sort of these acts of kindness and kind of paying it forward, but I mean, in a sense, there is a degree of love there that I think she exemplifies or personifies, I guess I don't know what the word is, towards these people, either directly or indirectly. Again, she likes to remain anonymous, but so maybe indirectly. But I still think there's maybe a love there for humanity, or maybe it is the individual itself. I guess I don't know. What do you think?
That it comes down to Renoir's painting that the Glassbone Man keeps trying to paint, specifically with the girl with the glass of water, that she identifies with this girl who's the outsider looking in onto all of the inside people at the party, and she's really concerned and cares for each one of them, even though she knows that she can never be completely a part of them.
Right.
And so whether it's these individuals as individuals or humanity itself, I can see evidences for both, because on the one hand, the people she helps out the most are all the people at the cafe, but on the other hand, it all starts with the boy, or the man with the old box, and there's also the blind man that she takes by the hand and whisks him away, giving him all of the sensory aspects that he's missing with his blindness. The fact is that she identifies at least a little degree with each of the people she helps, because with each of the people she helps, she sees a part of her. She sees either the reticence or the shyness or the broken childhood or whatever it is. The only one she doesn't identify with that you point out is the grocer. And so she just takes cruel revenge on him and drives him mad, which is very funny.
Right. Yes, it is one of the most human parts of the whole movie.
But everybody else she identifies, she knows she has that connection to, but whether or not it's a personal connection or one for all of humanity, I'm not sure. Maybe on that note, I want to ask you about a technique. Neither one of us wrote about it in our reviews, but it fascinated me in the film itself. And that was at these moments of realization that either one of the other characters had or Emile recognizes that somebody else has something of value, the object or the face just began to glow brilliantly and light just came out from it and filled the screen. Why do you think the director did that?
That the director did it out of some sense of personifying to us, the audience, that life is made up of these moments when we connect with the human family, if you will. Mm-hmm. When we are able to maybe put ourselves in somebody else's shoes, walk around a little while, understand them, therefore we become connected, we become kindred spirits, and when that happens, this connection is made where we then, in a sense, sort of join in understanding of one another, and therefore there's peace, there's love, there's understanding, but there's a general then welfare or concern for those around us, connecting with family.
Yeah. Well, because the two parts, because it happened several times, the two instances that I liked the most is the first time with the blind man as she took him down the street.
Yes.
And he's there and he gets this beatific glow about him. And the second time was with Nino when he recognizes who his ghost man is that he's been chasing. He gets this silly grin on his face, and the same thing happens. The beatific light comes in. And when it's these faces, I think you're right. But sometimes it's like a key in a pocket, and it's the key that's glowing, or it's this other object that she sees, and that starts glowing. Because a key or an object can't really feel any kindred spirit to humanity. So I'm wondering why those objects would be glowing as well.
Okay. one hypothesis. Those instances to me could represent, a piece of that person. There are things within us. Let's call them talents, right? So I can play the piano. Well, I can't, but
for sake of argument,
say that I could play the piano. For the sake of argument, I could play the piano. Okay. And I think there are moments in life where we have the gift, if you will, we have the talent, we have the skill, we just don't know that we have it. And so sometimes it takes other people to illuminate that within ourselves. So not only, for example, in your scene of the key, not only is she illuminating perhaps for the man the power within himself, but also this key that he has that has power of some kind that allows him to then move forward, to accomplish something, to pay it forward. I don't know, but it's within him. He has it. He has the ability. He has the pieces. He just hasn't connected the pieces yet until Amelie comes along and connects those pieces for him. Does that make sense? I don't know if that...
No, I like that.
I don't know if... Okay.
Well, and that's that would explain the need then for each of us to try to connect with humanity, because if we're the only ones that can bring certain things out of other people, then we need to address people with empathy and compassion and love.
Right. Right.
And make the world a better place rather than adding to the misery.
And you know what? And that's why I said this foreign language film was sort of a breath of fresh air, because it was, in the sense, I felt like a lot of the foreign language films we've watched thus far have had some type of agenda. They're pushing some kind of theme, idea. I don't know. Maybe that's not true for all of them. Maybe The Seventh Seal was one of those where didn't have an agenda. But anyways, you get my point. I mean, I feel like everybody's got an agenda, but I felt like in this movie it was a breath of fresh air because it was just sort of a feel good, pay it forward, connect with the human family kind of a message. Just something different, something clever and unique. So.
All right. Okay, well, that is our discussion on love, truth, and the interconnectedness of humanity. If you've seen Amelie or Amelie, what did you think of it? Let us know in the comments below. If you haven't by now, go ahead and check out our write-ups on the film. I think it's safe to say we both recommend it. This is a fun film. Anyway, so come back next week. We're looking at a classic film. It's a good one. The best one. Quite possibly the best one. Anyway, so come back, see what we have to say about that one. And as always, watch good movies.